Hello, everybody. My name is Jack Ward, and today I'm here to discuss with my dad his time in the Royal Navy and the Falklands War in 1982. So, Dad, first of all, what was your role in the Navy, and how did you end up on the HMS Illustrious?
How did I end up on the Illustrious? Well, at the time, I was based down in Plymouth, Devonport dockyard, and everybody was trying to get on a ship because the Falklands had kicked off. And at that time, I was the fleet maintenance group.
All right.
And everybody put requests in to go on ships, and they sent me to HMS Illustrious, which was still being built at the time, up in Newcastle at War's End.
Was that like the best choice, or was it?
Well, you got what you were given, basically.
You couldn't have any other option. You're stuck on it basically once.
Yeah.
So how did you actually like how old were you when you actually joined the Navy?
How old was I?
Yeah, like did you have any training before that?
I was in the Sea Cadets before that, so I knew what to expect, shall we say.
And then you joined the Navy at 16?
17.
17.
Yeah, just about 17 and a half, just before.
So what year was that?
75.
1975. So a couple years before Falklands started. So you had a bit of breathing room between.
Oh, yeah. They wouldn't send you down at that 17 anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. So what was your first impression? You know, you got on the HMS Illustrious. What was your first impression of it?
First impression of the Illustrious? It was basically a floating dockyard at the time because it was still being finished. It was in the process of being built at the time, and they just had to hurry on through with it. I mean, when we took it out to sea, we still had lots of dockyard personnel on board, sort of still welding and cutting and painting and stuff. And that went on for quite a few weeks until we were actually ready.
So what were you doing in the meantime then?
Well, we were painting and doing stuff as well.
Oh, so you had done the work then as well then?
Well, oh yeah. Yeah.
Put the young guns to work.
Oh yeah.
So what was like day-to-day life kind of like, you know, like before the Falklands and after, like during the Falklands, was there any difference, or was it usually the same?
big difference.
Or what were we doing before and during?
Well, I'll say, before we went down there, we were trying to get the ship ready so that it was fit for purpose, basically. And then you had to go down to a place where it used to be done at Portland now, and it's now done down in Plymouth, which is called a workup, where you make sure that all the systems actually work and everybody knows what they're doing. And that normally takes about 6 weeks for a workup.
And what about during the Falklands? What was your like daily life like during that period?
During that period, we were in defence watches, as it was called, which is basically 4 hours on, 4 hours off, which is when you got to do your sleeping, eating, and whatever else. The rest of the time you were either manning guns or, well, we were manning guns. I mean, other people were manning radars and whatever.
So it was very routine. Like
it got into a routine.
I mean,
very quick.
How did you kind of keep the morale up while all this was going on? Because I'm sure it gets a bit boring after a while, just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, having a sense of humour helps.
I mean, you always talk about you go drinking quite a lot. I don't know if that was during the Falklands, or was that just like kind of when you were off port? Or
there was drinking when we were down there, but not to excess. I mean, because you were technically only allowed 3 cans per man per day, 3 cans of beer per man per day, perhaps. But there's ways around that. But you didn't want to kick the arse out of it because we were in a war zone.
Yeah. You didn't want any drunk sailors. Did you have any close friends on board? Like, did you make any connections during that time?
Oh yeah.
I know Scotty, but anyone else?
Oh, Scotty wasn't on there.
Oh, right. I thought he was in the...
Yeah, he was in the Falklands, but he was on a different ship. He was on a ship that got sank.
Oh, what ship was that?
Sheffield. HMS Sheffield.
How did that go down?
It got hit by an Exocet missile, and then they couldn't put the fires out, and it eventually sank, I think. I mean, that happened before we actually got down there.
Oh, right. Were there any casualties? Or...
Yeah, there's about 25 killed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Brutal. Jeez. Was there any moment, I mean, for you, because obviously you was Scotty, was there any moment for you that felt quite intense?
Well, I say, by the time we got down there, it was practically all over by the shouting, and we had to supply air cover for the island until they extended the runway that they had on there was okay, but we had bombed it.
Yeah.
And the aircraft that were going to be stationed down there, they needed a longer runway, so that they had to extend the runway on Port Stanley. And yeah, I mean, the Falklands itself, it's like Scotland on your worst wet Wednesday.
I mean, I know you said you were there sort of at the end, but did you still see anything that kind of stuck with you, or was it mainly just like it was just standard procedure? Like you didn't see much action?
No, not really. No, I mean, then again, the guys that were down there, a lot of them probably wouldn't if they were manning radars and stuff. They were just seeing lights coming in and stuff like that, which was the the radar tracks and stuff, and hear a lot of noise.
I mean, you said you told me like when because you were on the you were a gunner, weren't you? You were a gunner.
Yes.
And you just said that most of the time you were just shooting at nothing. Like you didn't know what you were shooting at half the time. Was that pretty much just like 90% of what you were doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Shooting at whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite fun, I guess. Just shooting at stuff.
Apart from when we, this was obviously after it finished. They'd captured a load of Argentinian ships, and most of them were pretty manky. And the worst of the worst, they sank, and we
just got to shoot them.
Yeah, we got to shoot them basically. We just steamed past them, and all the upper deck gunners and that opened up with Jim Pierce and 20 mils and stuff.
Good target practice.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Did any of them sink after that? They didn't did you actually sink them from all the shooting, or were they still?
No, it was only small arms fire. It was just basically
damages the
shot up the upper works. I mean, it did sink them as such, but then they got one of the ships that had cannons on. Well, not cannons. Mark 8, 4.5. Put a few rounds in it, and that sank them.
I mean, from the transition period from the Falklands ending, because you left pretty soon after, you left the Navy pretty soon after the Falklands ended, didn't you?
About 3 years after.
So what was the transition period between Falklands and then sort of going back to normality and then leave the Navy and sort of going back to normal life? What was that kind of period like?
It's scary, really, because for the last 10 years, basically you knew what you were doing, and now you were going into Civvy Street.
Yeah.
And trying to find a job and things like that.
What was your first job after you left the Navy?
I was working in Portsmouth at the Admiralty Research Establishment, which is, as we know, that building's on top of the hill.
that big white building. Was it kind of did you kind of keep any old habits after you left? I know, waking up at a certain time, or any sort of
to start with,
any sort of noises that sort of gave you trauma of waking up and doing this.
Yeah, the alarm clock used to, and that went off.
Still does,
because it sounded a bit like the emergency station's sounder on the ship. Yeah.
So you were in you stayed in Portsmouth afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I mean, did you? Because obviously it's a sort of it's a dockyard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So did you see a lot of other people, other Navymen, sort of going onto the ships after that, like fresh faces?
Oh, you used to, yeah. But, I mean, most ships, unless it's a brand new ship, they don't change the whole crew at one time. It's only 3 or 4 at a time. Once you've done because you normally end up doing 18 months, 2 years on a ship.
And did you sort of keep in contact with anyone from the old days?
I did for a time, yeah. Well, I was still living in Portsmouth and that, and you used to see them about.
Was Scotty living in Portsmouth at the time?
Yeah, yeah.
And there was someone any other friends that you had?
I used to see a few of them to begin with, but then they got posted to other places and, sort of lose touch.
I mean, from like the whole Navy perspective, did it kind of change how you saw the world, or was it just like, did you have like a different mindset from before you joined the Navy to like leaving the Navy? Did you have like a different perspective on how you saw everything?
Yeah, I think I did, yeah.
What?
Some of the things I didn't take as seriously as I did before, but...
Expand?
Basically, shit happens.
True that. Just got to go with the flow.
Yeah. Go with the flow, or, see it for what it actually is.
Now, obviously, your oldest son, my brother, Luke, he also joined the military, joined the army.
He did.
Did you have any advice for him, or sort of like what he needs to know about joining a military branch? Like, did you sort of like pass on some knowledge to him?
Well, when he was little, him and Matt as well, your other brother, when they came home from school, we used to make them get them out of the school uniform, fold their school uniforms up, and get on their, clothes that they were messing about with in the house.
Yeah.
And Luke did say to me that once he joined the army, he said he was glad that I'd done that because everything has to be folded neatly in the army.
I think he told me that as well, that he's glad he got that experience because he kind of drilled him into it. Going back to the illustrious, what's like one memory that you're proud of from being like on that time on the ship?
Proud of?
Because I know you got to meet members of the royal family, I think. Was it?
Well, there was Prince Andrew was on there for a time.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about him.
No.
But was it Princess Anne? Was it Margaret? Queen Elizabeth's sister, wasn't it?
We saw Princess Anne a few times, but that was later on when I was working in the dockyard. And she used to come in and see her husband at the time, I think, or she was getting married to him.
But no specific moments that stand out that you're particularly proud of on the illustrious serving the country?
Well, I was, when the illustrious was eventually commissioned, which means he's now a member of the Royal Navy, I was in the guard for that, and you were inspected by the Queen. Well, it was the Queen's sister, Princess Margaret, who inspected the guard that day.
That's pretty cool. And that's like a moment that sticks at you. Like you got to meet higher ups at a pretty young age as well. That's a pretty big deal. So that's something to be proud of. Well done for that. But I'm going to give you some space for some final thoughts on everything you've done. What was it, 10 years that you were in the Navy?
Yeah.
That's that's a long time to be in the military branch. Are there any thoughts that you just want to get out there about your experience, good or bad?
Well, I would have signed on for longer if I could have stayed on HMS Illustrious, but my time was done. I'd done 2 years on there, but I would have signed on for longer because if my time was up, I'd have signed on for another 3 years if I could have stayed on the Illustrious, because it was, at the time, it was supposed to be going on a world cruise. Going down to Australia and all around there.
So you want to explore the world a little bit? Well,
yeah, because I never got out to Australia in my time. I'd always either been out in the Med, Northern Europe, or America.
I mean, at the same time, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen because then I wouldn't be alive.
Well,
so
there is that.
I'm kind of grateful for that. But Dad, thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it. And is HMS Illustrious the best aircraft carrier? That's the final question.
What, compared to now?
It can be just all time.
Well, you always like to think that your ship's the best one, but
it is. We all know it is. Thank you very much, Dad.